guys, Mount Vernon Kid here, coming to you again. And after a 4-week hiatus, I bring you Characters Why I Like Them series back. And I'm here to introduce you guys to another character that I like, have a lot of respect for. I love her attitude. I love just her all-around demeanor. And she's just a great character, and that's Misty Knight, as you can see. Once again, I'm introducing you guys, especially the people that don't know this character, to another Marvel hero outside of the big names. Very underrated character, in my opinion. She is kind of the bionic woman of the Marvel Universe. Now, some people, a lot of the comic officials now are calling her now the Oracle of the Marvel Universe because of her stint in Heroes for Hire. Now, Misty Knight, Mercedes Misty Knight, which is her real name, basically was created by Tony Isabella and Irvel Jones, basically. Now, she made her first appearance in Marvel Team Ups #1. And that was done by basically showing her who she really was. Now, Misty has strong influence. She's strongly influenced by a lot of the old black exploitation and kung fu craze, movies and stuff back in the 70s, especially anything Pam Grier did, Foxy Brown, Cleopatra Jones, people like that. Misty was a highly decorated New York NYPD cop that lost her right arm to a terrorist bomb. And because of her bravery, Tony Stark decided to fit her with a prosthetic arm, a bionic steel arm. And still, her superiors wanted her basically still to take a desk job. And as you know, many cops, they don't want that. Even if they may have lost or have a handicap or something that, diminishes them. But she decided to go into business for herself as a private eye, and she would team up and start her own private investigation agency called Nightwing Restoration with her good friend Colleen Wing. Colleen Wing, if Misty was the former cop, sharpshooter, everything like that, Colleen Wing was your female red-headed samurai. Colleen is very great with samurai swords. And Misty would also, even though Colleen was her best friend, Misty as a roommate, she had a famous X-Men as her roommate, and that was Jean Grey. Jean Grey was her roommate before she became the Phoenix. This all happened before she came the Phoenix. And over time, Colleen and Misty would work cases, and their names would get out there. They would be called the Daughters of the Dragon. People started to name them. They even had a series in 2005, a 6-part miniseries based on them too. And during that time, their name would get out throughout the superhero community, and they would cross paths with, Spider-Man and Luke and Danny. While they were starting Heroes for Hire, they would work together and things like that. At first, Misty wasn't interested in Danny at first, even though later on they would become a couple. She first started dating Luke Cage at first, believe it or not. So before Luke got married to Jessica Drew, um, aka Power Woman as she's called now, uh, he was dating Misty Knight, and from from Luke she went to a guy called Tyson King. To Tyson King she finally started to have an on and off relationship with Danny, and it's kind of funny because Colleen didn't like that because Colleen liked Danny first, and that kind of put a strain on. There was like a little rivalry between them, and she kind of left uh, their company for a while because of them getting together, her getting with Danny, and over time that started to put a strain on them, and like I said, and it it would lead to um, basically them kind of shutting down their organization for a while, and them just pretty much going on with their lives until the Civil War and the initiative came up. They brought Misty Knight back into the fold, and she was contacted along with her friend Colleen basically by Iron Man to reform the Heroes for Hire, and this team was going to be responsible for tracking down the heroes who refused to register their names. At first, she didn't want to do it. She was really hesitant about it. But they eventually agreed, and this Hero for Hire team would include Shang-Chi, Black Cat, Paladin, the new Tarantula, Humbug, and people like that. Uh, so basically, yes, Misty did register. Uh, Iron Fist basically, Danny was a little bit upset about her joining the initiative. Um, that was pretty much hurt Danny right there. That hurt Danny to know that his girlfriend was part of the initiative while she was pro, registration, and Danny was anti, and that's basically where he joined the New Avengers. Uh, Over time, they kind of they stopped, and their relationship was on and off again. Once again, uh, Colleen and Misty would help Danny during the time when basically Hydra tried to attack the mystical city of Kunlun, the city where Danny Rad trained and became Iron Fist from, uh, and they would help them stop Hydra. This is where basically Danny said to Misty for the first time, uh, he loved Misty. Basically, he actually said it, and it would move on from there. They once then it stopped. They had a little something, in the team would still continue in to the World War Hulk story arc, but that was when the team broke up because one of their members, Humbug, was actually a traitor. He was possessed by the Brood Queen, and they didn't know it, but he was betrayed. They betrayed him, and it kind of hurt. Now, once again, it put another strain on her friend Colleen and Misty. Yeah, there were Misty kind of, and that's because sometimes Misty has this very bold and brash attitude. It's basically like it's almost like my way or the highway. But you know that would end once again She kind of went into a depression after that, after the team broke up, which didn't last too long, but thanks to Danny, it did. She went into a very deep depression, um, and later on, she would stay. She would move in with Danny, and on Danny's 33rd birthday, uh, Misty actually, Danny actually proposed to Misty. She said yes, and we thought we were going to get another marriage. Even there were even more good news. Basically, she told Danny that she was pregnant. She was pregnant. She's pregnant. She's going to have a baby. Unfortunately, it was not true. It had something to do with the essence of Danny's chi energy, life force. Messing with her ovaries, and it made it seem like she was pregnant, but it turned out wrong. And when she told Danny, that kind of once again hurt their strain on their relationship. And they had moved in together into Danny's apartment, and once again that kind of Danny was really hurt by that. He thought he was going to be a father, and you can understand. So basically what they did was they decided to move out, but still be a couple. Just don't, be around each other too much, because, it kind of hurt just to look at her sometime. She would be involved in the Shadowland for a while, this Shadowland story arc, but mainly now she reformed. She reformed after Shadowland. She reformed Heroes for Hire once again. She revamped it, but this time the concept was she was going to be the controller. Like I said, the leader, that would utilize various street level heroes when they needed jobs. They would use these heroes for the basis of their powers or so. Like I said, she became like the oracle of the Marvel Universe. However, it was found out in the first issue of Heroes for Hire, that she was being manipulated by the Puppet Master. Yeah, Puppet Master. If you know who I'm talking about. When she was freed of her thanks to Iron Fist and her old teammate Paladin, basically, she continued thanks to, he told her to continue, just do it on your terms. And that's pretty much what she's been up to now. Misty's just very highly skilled. She's very highly skilled in many arts, as well as, martial arts, as well as cop training, detective skills. Her detective skills are very high, very good. She still thinks like a cop most of the time, even though she pals around with superpowered heroes. She still thinks like a cop, and she's got near perfect aim with a firearm. Like, that's occasionally. Now, her first bionic arm was just made out of steel. Now it's made out of like a couple of metals, like Antarctic vibranium, diamonds, adamantium. So it's highly strong. And her new arm, thanks once again to Tony Stark, also consists of, it has a anti-gravity repulsor, similar to like what Iron Man has in his repulsor rays. But she's still a cool character, nonetheless. Very cool character. I have a lot of respect for Misty Knight, and if you want to know more about her, just research her, look her up. For all those that are reading Hero for Hire, keep reading it. Misty's just a great character, all in all. Very underrated. Very underrated. And this is Marvel Kid, guys. Just saying thanks again. And tell me what you think of Misty Knight.